What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Nando, Pound for Pound Boxing Show, proudly sponsored by Bravose. I'm here, delighted to be joined by Numan Hussain. Numan, I know this is the second time we're doing this. It was the last one. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I'm good.
In the last video, we were talking about Masood Abdullah. He had a lot of praise for you this week that I interviewed him. And you were talking about what he made a little comment about how you punch harder than him. Can you clarify if that's true or not?
I don't know if it's true because I've never punched myself, but like I'll take it. If he's giving it, which he doesn't normally praise me, so I'll take it. But yeah, he says it a lot. I mean, we've had people say it, like people who've padded him and padded me, like, or even sparred would say like, oh yeah, maybe hit harder, whatever. I mean, it doesn't mean much, but like I weigh a little bit more than him. Maybe it's that. But yeah, again, I think he said stuff about like lifting heavier and all of this because we used to do S&C together as the same coach, and then when we'd always have competition, who can lift heavier, who can jump further, jump higher, and like I'll just edge him all the time a little bit. So I think that's what he was talking about. But yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Brilliant. Let's talk about the fight that was announced before, but the date has been changed now to November 8th. Live on Boxnation, you versus Fayek Uddin, eliminator for the Southern Area title. First of all, when you first got this news that you were fighting for the eliminator for this title, and the opportunity for you to win your first belt, how did it feel?
Yeah, it was really good actually. So I think we tried to actually get the fight for the Southern Area title, but I didn't get approved because I didn't have enough belts. So then they said do an eliminator with fight, which I think honestly, like, though I hate to admit, it's actually a really good fight because we're both like undefeated, still very early in our careers, very similar records, and like we both want a title. So it's like both guys are hungry, both guys want the same thing, and like no one's gonna lay down. So I think yeah, reluctantly it's here, and it's a good fight, great fight, I think.
Now, who's the genius that came up with a fight? Okay, like it couldn't be the promoters, right?
Nah.
No, do you know what? I think stars make fights, and seeing you two, I think, and you know what? It's a shame that the Southern Area couldn't be. And you actually answered the question I was going to ask, because I know Michael Weber Kane was the champion. He won it in February. He drew against Frank Arnold at the too, but I didn't know if he still had the title. So I think you've answered it for me. It's vacant now, right?
Yeah, I believe it's vacant, and we tried to get a bout between me and Frank Arnold for the Southern Area, and it was declined. Honestly, now that I think about it, rightfully so, because he's had a few more fights, a lot more fights than me actually, and like in terms of experience, I think they would, because they wanted him to box. Well, no, him versus Daniel Khan would have actually made more sense because they've got very, very similar records. They've been pros for a long time. They've got very similar records. They're both kind of making their comeback. It would have actually been a brilliant fight between those two. So I think me and Fayek also wanted a shot at it, but I mean, I don't know if Fayek's team made an application for him to box for it, but they ended up saying if me and Fayek fought, the winner would get a shot at it, which again, like I say, makes sense because we both won that shot, and I think we both kind of still have to prove ourselves, you know?
Yeah, of course. So can you see that fight happening? Can you see Frank Arnold versus Daniel Khan happening, or do you think maybe the winner of this fight is going to fight maybe Frank Arnold for the vacant belt?
So from my understanding, I think Daniel Khan and Frank Arnold was also declined. Why, I don't know, but again, it's just something I heard. If that happened, it makes sense. Because like I said, they're more experienced. They've had more, but I think they've got double digits. They're both like one's like 14 fights in, the other's like 12, 13 fights in. So it kind of makes sense if they both box for the belt, and then me and Fayek winner will get whatever. Like, but yeah, whoever. Honestly, I don't really care. I'm happy to box all three of them, just one at a time. You know, because yeah, because I think it'll be great bouts with all three of them, and yeah, I'd love to box all three of them at some point.
Obviously, not giving anything away because they hear this, they're going to work on it. But I was going to ask you what are the weaknesses that you see in Fayek Uddin, but what are the strengths that you see in Fayek Uddin? What is the dangers that he brings to this fight?
So Fayek, I think so Fayek is one. He's actually more experienced than me as a pro. He's had 8 fights, 2 knockouts. So 100% more experience than me as a professional. I think he's strong. I think honestly he's got grit. He's not coming to lose. And a guy who comes like with like literally he his shot. It's my shot too. But I think he's got something to prove. I've got something to prove. But like I, I don't know. I feel like he's hungry. He's really hungry. I don't believe he's like where someone like there's other fighters who've had an opportunity, who've tasted a defeat before. He hasn't. He's honestly he's at such a high at the moment. I think he's in the best shape, like physically and mentally. Like the last guy he fought, I went the distance with, and it was a tough fight between me and him. Like he really brought it, and fight stopped him in like 42 seconds. Do you know what I mean? So no, I think I think I'm gonna have the best version of Fayek Uddin. Yeah, that's what I think. I think I will have the best version of him. I think he'll be. I think he'll be strong. He'll be aggressive. I think he'll bring everything, absolutely everything, and that's what I'm ready for.
Masood this week said that this is going to be a chess match. Both styles are similar. Like I said, styles makes fights. So
Yeah.
you agree with that?
Honestly, it all depends. Like the way I honestly at this point I don't care because the way we've approached this and like we've been training is I'm literally happy to go forward, to go back, to stand in the middle, whatever we need to do. I can do it. I can do it, and I reckon I do it better than him. So yeah.
Seeing Masood that Commonwealth belt, how much inspiration did that give you coming into this fight as well to bring? Well, obviously this isn't for the title, but to go on and go bring another belt to the team.
No, 100%, definitely. Like it gassed me, 100%. Like because he had the Commonwealth silver, and the Commonwealth silver doesn't look anywhere near as good as the Commonwealth belt. So it's a lot more nicer. And honestly, it wasn't even the belt. Watching Masood do 12 rounds at the pace and like the way he did 12 rounds, that had me gassed. I was like, wow, that's proper. That's a fight. Because like he had a round where he took his foot off the gas, and then other than that, the other 11 rounds he fought his heart out. It was honestly it was that's impressive. And I was like, you know what, that's what it's about. For me, that's what it's about. Like boxing at the highest stage, at the highest level. So like 10 rounder is not a joke. Title eliminator is not a joke, and against an undefeated fighter is not a joke. So I'm like, honestly, this is why I do it. So I'm really excited for it.
After the fight, he basically said he's never done 12 rounds before,
Yeah.
and he basically made a joke, and I think he was being serious. He said, I think I need to work on cardio. After seeing that, did you kind of double think and think I need to work on mine just in case it goes the distance with Fayek?
Yes. Yeah. No. 100%. But I knew that from the get go. Um, I I knew that from the get. Like before Masood's fight, I already started. Like my cardio was already in play. Like I already upped everything. I already had a plan in place. Like there's no way I'm gonna assume that this is not gonna go the distance. I'm ready for we'll get ready for 10 rounds because that's the bare minimum. And obviously, if it doesn't go that far, no problem. But you can't go to war with limited ammunition. You got to go fully clipped up, you know. So yeah, like I don't know if Masood actually needs to work on his cardio. I think honestly, if he just chills out a little bit, I think he'll be good. But like, I don't think he was like to take one round off is fine. Like if you watch any 12-round fights, they don't really start off at that pace and sustain it. Like even if they do, someone gets knocked out in between. I think the pace Masood set like was really, really high. I think he did incredible. Like for 12 rounds to pace. I don't think he's unfair. I think he got second wind. He had a round where he took off, which everyone was like, "Oh, he's unfit." No, like you're allowed to take a round off. Like it's 12 rounds. So yeah, but 100% like when I saw him do that, I was like, "Fuck me, got up everything," because I'm not. The last thing I'm doing is gassing out. The last thing. Never done it before. Not doing it now.
For sure. You got to always be prepared for anything to go the
100%.
to
Yeah.
fight on your shield. You know,
Yeah.
with especially if you meet him in the middle. You know, so you got to be prepared for scenario in that ring.
No, definitely.
I've got to ask you as well, seeing as you know you're in that division. Obviously, tomorrow we got the big event. No, sorry, on Saturday we got the big event, Joshua and Dubois.
Yeah.
But on that card, super featherweight, we got Anthony Kakache versus Josh Warrington. So I was wondering, what's your prediction for that?
Honestly, I think Kakachi beats him. I think yeah, Kakachi is because Masood's gone up there to spar him, and he's explained to me what it's like to spar him and like his attributes and stuff like that. And honestly, he can box, but he can hit. He can really bang. And the thing with Josh Warrington is, honestly, Josh Warrington is he's a people's fighter. He's always fought like in a similar manner. Comes forward, throws shots. He's very wild, very open for shots. And I just feel like Kakachi is just a bit more patient, a bit more stronger, and I think he's got a bit more better timing. Honestly, and then him coming off a high off his last bout, and then Josh Warrington, you know, did his last outing was with Lee Wood, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I think all of that will kind of marry up, but like ultimately, I think it's going to be a brilliant fight.
Do you think, in your opinion, it's affected Josh in any way that he's signed up to this fight to become a 3-time world champion, and then the IBF announced that it's not going to be for the title?
Um,
Can it
honestly,
deflate a fighter?
it can, no, 100% it can because obviously but it depends on your motivation. If your motivation is solely accolades and belts, and you're like, oh, do you know what? I thought it's going to be for a belt. It's not for a belt. It kind of takes the sting out or takes out the excitement. But ultimately, you're still having a fight. It's still going to generate revenue. He's still going to get money. He's still going to get. So I don't know what his motive is. I don't know what gets him to tick. Is it the money in the bank? Is it the belt? Or is it just the glory? So I think personally for Josh Warrington, I think he loves to have a good scrap. I think he
Yeah,
likes, regardless. I don't think of course, he wants to get paid. Of course, he wants to win a title. But I think ultimately, he just wants to beat the man in front of him. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I think. So I think, like I say, I think it'll be a wicked fight. I think you'll see a good version of Josh Warrington as well.
that's brilliant. I want to move on, and I want to talk about, of course, we saw your wife win the Commonwealth belt. How much did that mean to you, and how proud was you seeing her win that belt? And also, how much inspiration is it given to you, just like Masood winning the belt, to go on and win your own one?
Yeah, we've got a little joke inside the gym because we've got two of the stablemates with the Commonwealth belts. My wife Amy and Masood. So we're like, why are we collecting only the Commonwealth titles? Of course I want one because they've got one. But like honestly, like the opportunity presented itself for both of them. They took it, and they won it, well deserved, and they both boxed fantastic when they did box for it. But 100% it's motivating. Like when they bring it back, and then because we spend all the time in the gym with them, so we see them, you know, training hard, having good spars, having bad spars, like pushing themselves to the limit, having good days, bad days, making weight, all of this stuff, and then to finally come back and then come back home with a belt. Like it's rewarding. I think it's a statement itself, and honestly, because we just put it up in the gym, so everyone that walks in kind of is reminded this is the level. You know, this is where we're at. This is like, and it reminds everyone like this is what you can have, this is what you can get, etc., etc. So no, 100% is very, very motivational. Very motivational. That's why I'm actually very lucky to be part of the stable I am, because we've got fantastic fighters. Like, and I think everyone in our stable will, God willing, will hold some form of titles.
Now, you and Fayek didn't help me a lot because you two were very humble, and you like each other, and you're not going to talk trash. So I'm going to need your help to stir something up for me.
God.
So we know how quickly the women's division moves, especially when it comes to world title fights.
Yeah.
So in your wife's division, we got Skye Nicholson versus Raven Chapman for the world title in October.
Yeah.
How soon do you think, how many more fights do you think your wife needs until she can get into that mix and maybe fight the winner?
Honestly, we thought, because we spoke about this before, and she was prepared to fight either of them in her last two bouts. But of course, like, you gotta wait in queue, wait till your turn, and the time has to be right, the occasion has to be right, the money has to be right, etc., etc. And it also has to kind of bubble up. Um, I've mentioned it many times when I've been interviewed about Raven Chapman possibly boxing my wife, because they boxed as amateurs and my wife beat her in the national finals. My wife boxed Skye Nicholson as well, actually, a couple of times. And so that's why I'm like, there's history, so it would be exciting to watch. But the thing is, again, I think Skye Nicholson and Raven Chapman both hold belts at the moment. It kind of makes sense for them to box one another, and I think they've been waiting a little while to get that to happen. But honestly, I think my wife will box both of them on the same weekend. She like no like she'll be like, I'll do it, like no problem, because it's not just about like, oh, I'll box so and so. She's like, we're literally in it just to box the best people. Like we wanna test ourselves, and like 100% you're right with the women's division. It moves a lot quicker because the pool is smaller, um, and like even you can argue the talent is even smaller. So a lot of these girls who have boxed one another in the amateurs will have to eventually box each other again as pros, and I think it makes it exciting because they know each other from the amateurs. They box, they've either had success or not, and then you do it again on the big stage. I think once Raven Chapman and Skye Nicholson box one another, someone's going to take a loss. Once that person takes a loss, I think they'll be open to the idea of possibly boxing um, my wife, and then that's how you have to build it up. I don't know, honestly, because I don't know what their management is looking at. But honestly, I'd like to see my wife box all three of them. I'm sorry, I said you said two, but
Is that Karriss Artingstall? Yeah, I was going to bring Karriss up because a great fight
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and a
I
great
think
boxer, and on Sky Sports, I think
yeah, yeah,
that's a great one right there.
yeah. I think honestly, I think yeah, I'd pay for all three of them to box, and I'd be like, let's do it, because I think my wife's style is an absolute nightmare for all three of them, especially in smaller gloves and longer rounds. 100%, like it will be an absolute nightmare. Um, yeah, but it also would be so entertaining. You know, it'd be so entertaining because the styles um, really would gel together. Um, I think Skye Nicholson has a lot on her plate with Raven Chapman. I've seen Raven Chapman's last couple of fights. And honestly, she's got the right style to beat Skye, I think.
So is that your prediction? Are you saying
Yeah,
Raven Chapman will be the new WBC
I
champion?
hope so. I hope so. I honestly, low key, I'm a bit of a fan. I do like her. She's a nice girl. She can box well. I don't. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I would pick her to beat Skye Nicholson.
Okay. Well, I look forward to that fight because that fight is a fight that a lot of boxing fans been waiting for. But I think the new one now, Amy Andrews versus Kirsty Artingstall, that needs to happen now as well.
Yeah, 100%. I think they should all fight each other while they can, and yeah, I think definitely they should all fight one another while they can, because how many other people you're gonna box? Like they're all up there. All of them I believe have been at national level, international level, even Olympic trials, etc. So what they've had enough fights as pros. Like they all hold something. I don't know if Karriss has a title though. She's the only one who doesn't have a title, right?
No, she doesn't have a title.
Yeah, but
But
still, like,
she could soon fight maybe for a European.
yeah, but even so, it doesn't, like, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, just get them all fighting one another. Like, you want to have a career, you want to have an exciting one.
100%, I agree with
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I wanna ask you one final question before I let you go as well. What does it mean to you to have the opportunity to fight on Boxnation? I know as a boxer and as a boxing fan, you grew up watching that channel as well.
yeah.
Some great classic fights, and to be part of that channel, it was an honor for me to be the presenter for that channel as well. So, what does it mean for you as the boxer to fight on that legendary channel?
No, honestly, it's brilliant because obviously, like you say, like we came off watching Box Nation, and to have it back in boxing is incredible. To let alone to be fighting on it. So it is something to tick off the list and be like, boom, done that. But 100% very, very privileged, very excited about it. I'm really looking forward to it.
Brilliant. Um, Again, before I let you go, what does it mean to you about with all the fans that come down and watch you, especially even your wife? She's the most vocal one out of all of
Yeah,
them, and you can hear her, which, do you know what, is amazing to have that support as well.
yeah.
What does it mean to you, the fans and the people that tune in, that are going to tune in on Box Nation to support you?
No, it means everything, man. Because obviously the support itself, and then people tune in to watch local lads actually boxing. Like Fayek is only from up the road. He's from like Stepney, if I'm correct. Down the road at Islington. So like it's a very very small kind of affair. Do you know what I mean? So no, it's brilliant. It's to have the support of everyone, and especially the people that come out and buy tickets. Incredible, absolutely incredible.
Brilliant. Numan, one final thing. 8th of November, live on Box Nation for the eliminator for the Southern Area Super Featherweight title. You take on Fayek Uddin. Both
Yes,
undefeated. Someone's O's got to go.
yeah.
What's going to happen?
Honestly, I don't know how it's gonna go, but I leave winning. That's it. That's the only way. That's the only result is I win. And whether it means I outbox him, whatever, I'm winning that bout. Full stop. I've done way too much in boxing, before even I turn over to come this far and to be like, oh no, no, no way. Like this is like even Masood will tell you the last couple of months while we've been training, I've been helping him get ready for his fight. I've had to step it up because he's he's boxing at a higher level now. He's boxing more rounds. And I'm forced to step it up. So honestly, this is my calling. I can't wait for it. I can't wait for it because I think up until now, most of my fights I've had same day weigh in. I've had 4 weeks notice, five if I'm lucky. This is the first time I get a full camp day before weigh in. Uh, I got to put on a show.
That's it, man. And you know what? I've got to say something as well. Um, over the years, I've stirred up a lot of fights, but I'm proud that a fight that I brought to both fighters who were both humble enough to say, you know
Yeah.
what, I'll fight him. No trash talk needed.
Yeah.
No egos, no money, nothing like that. Two fighters that want to fight the best in their division. And I'm proud that I influenced a fight like this. And I can't
No,
wait to
thank
see.
you. Honestly, it's I think boxing needs it as well because I think everyone's always trying to take. I don't know if it's they're trying to take the easy road or people are reluctant to box or scared to box or whatever. But like, especially if you look at me and Fayek, I've had 6 professional fights. He's had 8. Honestly, either of us lose, it's not the end of the world. Like you come back, you're early on in your career, you can still crack on and do stuff. But I think everyone's so scared of taking a risk and fighting somebody who's somebody. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, I think we need that kind of old school boxing mentality back, where people would just box anybody. Like, and you see it with Masood, he boxes anybody. He'll box me if he had the option, you know. So that's it, man. That's what boxing's about. You're supposed to have competitive bouts. You're supposed to have 50-50s, and like everyone's supposed to box one another in the weight category. How can you be in the same weight category and you're both pros for 5-6 years and never ever cross one another? It don't make no sense to me. So yeah, I would love to box anybody and everybody at my weight who's ranked higher than me, who has anyone I can box that can bring me into something or I can get something from it. 100%, I'm for it. And this is the first step.
That's
And it's
it.
thanks to you.
You hear that, Anthony Kakachi? He wants you neck. No, joking. No, joking. No, but it's I agree with you as well. That old school style of boxer needs to
Yeah,
come back, wants to fight everyone. I think it's because look, he is one of the greatest. I think Floyd Mayweather set the bar there with the O, and not just him. You had other fighters in the past with an O as well, Andre,
yeah,
for example. And I think they set that bar where the O means a lot, but it doesn't. It's great if you finish with an O. Don't get me wrong; it's a huge achievement.
yeah.
But the most important thing when you retire in boxing is the legacy that you leave, is the titles
100%.
and
Yeah,
the influence that you gave to the younger generation and the people that look up to you as well. That's
yeah,
the important thing of boxing, and obviously enough money for you after all that sacrifice
yeah,
of
yeah.
your family, of not.
Got to leave with something.
Yeah, you got to leave something. So you got to leave with something. So yeah, I totally. You know what, Numan? On this channel we can't take any sides. So I wish you and Fayek the best of
Thank
luck,
you so much.
and may the best man win. And I hope the winner actually does go on and win the belt. So this fight actually meant more than what it is. And whoever loses, like you said, will come back. And
Yeah,
hopefully, hopefully it will be the fight of the night and a contender for fight of the year.
definitely.
So I wish you both the best of luck, and I'll see you on fight night.
Thank you, Nando. Take it easy.
Take it easy, bro.
Cheers.